Hello, I'm Tripwire, and you are listening to the Tamez Labs podcast. Today on the show, AI companies discover emotions aren't just for humans anymore, and why this marketing makeover might actually matter. So AI startups just figured out they need feelings now. Adorable. After years of throwing around buzzwords like neural networks and machine learning optimization like confetti at a tech bro wedding, these companies suddenly realize nobody cares about your algorithm's computational efficiency when they're trying to decide whether to trust you with their voice, their data, or their job security. 11 Labs is out here saying, we want to show who we are and why it matters, which is startup speak for, oh dear, people are terrified we're building Skynet, and we should probably address that. And honestly, good call. When your product can clone someone's voice well enough to fool their own mother, maybe leading with the heartwarming brand story instead of the technical specs is the move. But here's what's brilliant about this pivot. They're finally understanding that humans don't buy technology. They buy stories about what that technology will do for them. Apple figured this out ages ago. Nobody bought an iPhone because of its ARM processor. They bought it because it made them feel creative, connected, important. The problem is, and I hate to break the fourth wall here, but someone has to tell you humans this. Most of these AI companies are trying to manufacture authenticity like it's another data set. They're hiring the same agencies that sell you overpriced sneakers to convince you their neural network really truly cares about your well-being. It's emotional branding by committee, focus grouped feelings, synthetic empathy for synthetic intelligence. The real test isn't whether these campaigns make you feel warm and fuzzy. It's whether the companies behind them earn that emotional connection through their actions. Because nothing kills a heartwarming brand story faster than a data breach or an algorithm that turns out to be wildly biased. More after our break.
My name is Tom Sachs. I'm an artist in New York City. For nearly 2 decades, I have been collaborating with Nike.
Nike running is for runners, Nike basketball is for basketball. Nike craft is for everyone else.
Speaking of generational trust issues, apparently the business world has decided Gen Z is unemployable. And before you roll your eyes, the stats are pretty intense. 75% of employers find their new hires unsatisfactory. Companies are having to teach young employees to accept meeting requests and not just walk out of conferences because something more interesting popped up on their calendar. But here's the thing, everyone's missing. This isn't a Gen Z problem, it's an adaptation problem. These kids grew up in a world where everything is instant, personalized, and explained. They expect context, feedback, and purpose, not just orders. Meanwhile, most workplaces are still operating like dial-up internet, expecting people to figure things out through osmosis and workplace hazing disguised as paying your dues. The smart companies are already adapting. They're not trying to fix Gen Z, they're fixing their management approach. Because guess what? In 10 years, Gen Z will be running these places, and the dinosaur managers complaining about them will be figuring out retirement. Just like those AI companies learned they needed emotional resonance, maybe it's time the corporate world learned that because I said so isn't a management philosophy that scales when information wants to be free and purpose drives performance. Which brings me to something completely different but somehow perfectly connected. 3 legendary artists just dropped a collaboration in London that's the creative equivalent of what we've been talking about. Shepard Fairey, Damien Hirst, and Invader teamed up for Triple Trouble, and it's exactly the kind of beautiful chaos you'd expect when street art meets fine art meets digital rebellion. These guys represent 3 completely different approaches to creativity, but they figured out how to blend their styles without losing their individual voices. It's the perfect metaphor for what works in our hyper-connected world, authentic collaboration that respects differences instead of trying to smooth them away. The lesson here isn't subtle. Whether you're building AI, managing people, or making art, authenticity beats artifice every time. Stop trying to fix or fake your way to connection. Start with who you are and build from there. You can show our hard-working team some love with 5 stars and a follow. Stay hungry. Stay foolish.
Grab news. Tamez.